Hello, everyone. Hang on a second. Hello. There we are. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, geez. I should have freshened up my face before I went live here. I got to move all this. Hi. Are you guys on? Are you guys there? Are you guys there? Hello, everyone. Tell me in the comments. Oh, there's Eileen. Hi, Eileen in the house. I literally was just on a phone call until I hit live, hung up, and here I am. So, hi, Wendy. Happy Monday. Y'all, I don't have a podcast for today. And this morning, I thought, why do I not have a podcast for today? To only realize I didn't record a podcast last week, y'all. I got a little behind schedule last week, my friends. Yay. Okay, tell me who's on. Tell me who's on. Who is here? Who is here? Hi, beautiful Helena. So we've got Eileen, we've got Wendy, we've got Helena. Who else we're missing? I think I have a few more that are on. I know this is totally late. Last minute, I don't even know what you call it. Last minute notice. But I wanted to do a podcast. And so here we are. And then, of course, I thought, you know what? I'm going to open up Disc because, hi, Tanya, you were able to get on today. I'm drinking my purple powder. Have you guys ordered the purple powder yet? Number one, it's so yummy. Number two, I can't tell you the last time I had a flat stomach. I'm just saying this to the girls. I would not say this to the boys because I don't think boys care about flat stomachs. But it's so yummy. It tastes like grape. Not grape juice. Do you guys remember grape Kool-Aid? It tastes like a watered down grape Kool-Aid. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? I think it is. Hi, Melanie. Welcome. I'm talking about my purple powder. Y'all like my cup? I don't remember who gifted this. Hi, Michelle. Hello. So if you guys haven't ordered the purple powder, I wish I could show you how flat I feel like my stomach is. I'm not even joking. Okay. So we're going to talk about disc today, y'all. We are going to talk about disc, and I think I'm going to do this in 2 episodes at minimum. I'm going to just kind of introduce you guys to disc, if that makes sense, because number one, Wendy, you know I'm not going to promote nothing I hadn't checked out, my friend. I actually am in love with this whole line of products, you guys. The sales vice president of the company called me. He actually just texted me a minute ago. And oh wait. Don't order it, Wendy. Wait. When does this start? What is today? Don't order it today. I can't tell you why. Let me read his text. Don't order it today. Wait until tomorrow. There you go. His text says, don't tell anyone. Wait until order it tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, so, hold on. I'm reading his text. See what it says here. You're going to want to wait till tomorrow. I will tell you that. Oh, I need to text my friend too. Shoot. She was just asking me about it. Okay, so it's the purple powder, y'all. I love it. Also, too, for those of you that know me from the Advocare days, one of the things that I loved doing with this guy was on the call. I said, well, you know that I stood for a decade behind Advocare products. And so I need to know your products. And so he sent me products to try, and then he helped me just literally reevaluate the ingredients and figure out what was similar to Advocare and what's similar to mine now, and et cetera, et cetera. So it was really exciting for me. I want y'all to know I Can y'all hear me now? How about now? How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, yes. Okay, goodness. So my computer froze. That's concerning, which knocked me off, I guess, from sound. That's kind of concerning. Make sure it's plugged in right and I didn't tap it. Okay, good. Tell me in the comments if you guys are having massive FOMO. Tell me if you guys were wondering what I was saying. Y'all, I don't have lashes on today. I probably should have put them on to do a podcast. That's okay, right? So tomorrow I'm recording commercials, trainings. I'm recording podcast interviews. I'm recording all kinds of stuff tomorrow. So I thought I'd put a new set on. Is that okay? So, okay. Okay, yay! Yay, yay, yay. This is not supposed to be in that. This is not supposed to be in here. Y'all just a second. I'm so not prepared, y'all. I'm not prepared. That's okay, right? Are we all still hanging in together? Y'all don't be laughing at me right now. I will tell y'all this. Listen, my niece turned 30 on Saturday. Friday night, we went to the rodeo and got to bed at 1:30 in the morning. Saturday night, we went to Nick and Sam's for dinner, and then we went to the Colombian Country Club. Went to sleep at 1 a.m. I'm too old to do that, y'all, and I think it's hitting me today. But instead of checking out and going downstairs, it didn't work out too well. Instead of checking out, does he not know I'm recording a podcast? I'm not even going to tell him. I came and I'm going to record a podcast with you guys. Okay, let me text him. See my little tough and then I feel bad. Okay, I just text him. So anyway, I'm way too old to get to bed that late for 2 nights in a row, my friends. Way too late. Way too late. How about them Eagles? Do I have anybody on today? I know Michelle was an Eagles girl yesterday. So was I, girls. So was I. So was I. I wore green all day for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now listen, Linda. Doesn't mean I don't like Kansas City. People get so offended. I like Kansas City. I just wanted Philadelphia to win. That's simple. I like Hurts. He's a boomer. Well, for 1 year, but still he was a boomer. He was a boomer sooner, y'all. So, anyway, Philadelphia Eagles won. I was really happy about that, if I can be honest with you. I was the only one in my house that had on green. Brian was non-committal. He could have cared less. Riley was all Philadelphia, but he's at OU. And Reagan could have cared less. And Haley liked Philadelphia, but she could have cared less. I was the only like hardcore mean green fighting Eagles. That's what I was. If you live here local, you know that's University of North Texas. So, Jalen's the best. That is correct. I would have been way okay if KC won. Fly Eagles fly. Yeah, I was wanting Philadelphia to win. Not know why. So, but a Huskers just got a ring. Oh wow. That's the picture you posted. I love that. I love that, Michelle. That's super exciting. And so did a Boomer Sooner, I guess, huh? Even though he didn't graduate from OU, he actually graduated from Alabama, but he was Boomer Sooner quarterback. So, okay. Now, little housekeeping. I want you guys to remember that post podcast recording, we're going to do a Q&A. And I changed my mind. I'm not going to do 2 episodes today. Okay, I'm just going to do 1 because I'm kind of out of words. And so disc is not hard for me. So I'm going to come in. I want you guys to know a couple things. I have just created an entire marriage disc course, how to refine, how to be heard, how to live with each of the personality types. If you guys are new to me, I'm a master at disc personality profiles. I'm obsessed with them, to be quite honest. And so I just did, by much request, a marriage course, which hasn't launched yet, but there's limited spots. And so because y'all hang with me, if you want to know about it and get on the free workshop, you have to be on the free workshop to buy the course. I don't think I've ever done something so inexpensive in my entire coaching career, but whatever. Let me know. I'll put you guys down first and I have to turn it in to the powers that be. Okay. So I'm very excited about it, but I'm not going to talk about marriage today. I'm just going to talk about personality profiles. And then I think I'll do a part 2. And probably by the time you get done with this one, you'll think I need that marriage course. Okay. I don't know if Karina's on here, but Karina and Tanya, know the whole course and there's 8 digital add-ons that I did. They had to proofread all of them. Poor girls, poor things. So they can tell you that it's fire. It's absolute fire. So I'll tell you guys though, before we start, this profile will change your game. It'll change your game with yourself. It'll teach you how to have grace with yourself. It'll change how you talk to yourself. It'll change the way you see God. It'll change your marriage. It'll change your children. It'll change your friendships. It'll change everything. I'm not even going to lie. If you are on here right now and hello everyone. Howdy and welcome back. It's Robbie Page again. I'm so glad you're back. I don't know, maybe you found me today. I don't know, maybe you've been here the whole time. I know all my live podcast girls that are on right now have been here with me. You guys, I really want you to come to our podcast party. If you haven't been to my podcast party, then you need to read in the description. I'm going to tell you how to come to the podcast party because we've been on now for 18 minutes just chatting it up. And then after I get done with you guys here, we go into a post podcast party where people ask Q&A. So my name is Robbie Page. I'm your current podcast coach. That's what I'm going to call myself today. I'm a life coach. I'm a master at disc profiles. That's actually what we're going to talk about today. I love people. I'm a business coach. I'm a mindset mentor. I literally am a perspective phenom that will absolutely change your entire life by changing your thinking without really changing a whole bunch of tangibles about it. And so today we are here with my live podcast to talk about disc profiles. Are you familiar with disc at all? Most people are not. Most people are not. I can tell you, I was probably, I would say 38 when I learned about disc. So if you're not familiar with disc, don't you worry. I'm going to make you just enough dangerous today that you can start to pay attention. Okay. I'm going to give you just enough to make you dangerous today. Doesn't mean you're going to leave here and know it all. I could do 10 series on this particular topic and love every one of them. But today I'm going to introduce it to you. So you're going to want to look for episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. I don't know how many we'll do. I just finished recording an entire much requested, which finally turned into a few demands, marriage discourse, meaning that I take disc, what I'm going to teach you today, expanded into 9 videos about your marriage with a digital content ads about who you're married to, how to communicate, all the things. And so I'm really excited. So disc right now is very hot on my mind because I just finished recording all the greatness that you will see. And so I want to talk to you guys about disc. Are you guys familiar with disc? Do you even know what that is? I know there's a lot of personality profiles out there. There's a lot. And I know to each personality profile is a lot of descriptions. Disc is not that way. So I don't have a whole lot of descriptions for you today. I have a whole lot of wisdom on the small 4 descriptions that I have for you today. So grab your journals. Don't just watch me. Maybe you're listening while you're getting ready. Maybe you're listening in the car. That's fine. But most importantly, I want you to go back and grab a journal. Don't ever trust your future or your fortune to your memory, my friends. Okay? Okay, so go back and get your journal. And we're going to talk about the 4 disc personality profiles. Now, this isn't like the catch-all for everything. If I had time, I would go into what I call the demons behind the disc, aka the weaknesses behind each disc. As a matter of fact, I may touch on them a little bit. The insecurities behind each disc. I could literally take you on a disc journey for a year and still not teach you everything. So this isn't like a catch-all and a permission for you to just be this dominating, strong, controlling woman. Nor is it permission for you to be this high I, oh my God, talking all the time, showing up late, forgetting everything, being a complete wreck. Nor is it permission for you to always be sad, for you to always be offended. This is not permission for you to be an overthinker or to analysis by paralysis. You don't want to do that. None of this is permission for that. What today is going to be permission for you is to get a glimpse of maybe understanding who you are and why you do some of the things that you do. There's only 4. There's only 4. That's the good news. You don't have to remember all the different kinds. There's only 4. And you're basically going to lead in one strong one, and you're going to have a second backup. Again, we could get into this for days. But for now, I'm just going to introduce you. So as we're talking, here's what I want you to think about. Number 1, which one's you? Let's start with you. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to sit there and be like, my husband needs to watch this because my husband don't watch this and my husband. No. Let's talk about you. I want you to understand you. I want you to seek more greatness in you. I want you to really have clarity about you. I want to give you strategy about you. Okay, we're going to start with you. Then we can talk about everybody else later. But for now, we're going to talk about you. All right, let's get started. So remember, number one, this is just going to be so that you can understand how you behave, how you respond, how you react, how you think, etc. Number two, I want you to start thinking in your mind, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I get it. Okay. Number three, I want you to lend just a small part of your brain to that was the waitress the other day. That was the server. That's my daughter. That's my son. That's my husband. And then we're going to stop right there. All right. So let's get started. The first one is my favorite one in the whole wide world. Those of you that are live, can you tell me why? Can you tell me why? The first one is my favorite in the whole wide world, and that is because it is who I am. It's a D. The D stands for dominant, stands for decided, stands for determined. A D moves fast. A D is very task oriented. A D needs results. A D literally says, let's go. A D is focused. A D is literal competitive, head down. We're going to get this done. A D doesn't make excuses. A D doesn't love excuses. A D doesn't blame people. A D loves to take ownership. Did that speak to anybody? Now, listen, I didn't say take control. As a matter of fact, we don't want to be in control. We don't want to take control. We just need you to make up your mind. We just need you to make a decision. We just need you to get to the point. So, a lot of times, women will say, I'm a D, I'm a D, I'm a D, I'm a D. No, 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 no. Most D women will say, I kind of wish I wasn't quite the D. I really wish I wasn't a D. Because you guys, we're the ones that's called bossy. We're the ones that's called pushy. We're the ones that you call, she's such a know it all. We're the ones that you make fun of. We're the ones that you're like, oh my God, she just has something to say. Oh my God, she just wants to be president of the PTA. Oh my God, that's what happens. D. A D gets it done. A D doesn't show up late ever. A D says, it's all my fault. A D says, this is what we're going to eat. A D says, let me tell you what's wrong. A D says, we're going to chat this out. A D says, I was calling you because something happened and I think we need to talk. See, we're not confrontational, we're conversational. A D. A D could be a police officer. A D is going to be an attorney. A D is going to be a president of the United States. A D is going to be president of the PTA. A D is going to be boss. Okay? A D is going to be a leader by nature. People follow a D because they do like the way we take ownership. All right, that's a D. Let's talk about an I. An I is inspirational. An I is influential. An I is inspiring. An I moves fast. Everything with an I tends to be fast and it's fast and it's fast. And they talk all the time and they talk a lot and they talk in circles and they tell all the details of the story. And they love to wear cheetah print and they love to wear bright colors and they love to paint their nails in neons and they love to have crazy hair and they love. That's an I. An I values people. Remember, a D values tasks. An I values people. So an I is going to always show up to a party. An I is going to always want to come if it's fun. An I is going to want to play games. An I is going to post on social media. An I is going to be the one that walks in and you think you got to take some of the cheetah off. He's like roadkill. That's too many patterns. You got too much pattern going on. An I, sadly, is always late. An I always forgets. An I is not the most organized person in the room. An I talks way too much. An I never gets to the point. An I is usually the loudest person in the room. An I is very emotional. Different from an S. Give me a minute. But an I's like, I cannot believe you just said that to me. I cannot believe you cut me off. And I cannot believe they didn't ask me. And I cannot believe that's an I because it's all about people. Now, what you'll see is there's goods and there's bad behind both of those. But I can tell you, an eye is always fun to be around, especially if they're bridled, especially if they're grown, which I'm going to recommend all of them. I want you to be grown in your disc profile. But an eye is really, truly the life of the party. All right. Let's go to S. So S is stable. An S is constant. An S is steady. An S is like the wallpaper. They're there, but they don't require you to pay attention to them whatsoever. An S is a peacekeeper. An S is the sweetness. An S wears more muted colors. An S is slower paced. An S values people. Now, an S is fantastic because they're the people that really truly did care that somebody wasn't invited, or they really truly want to be sure that everybody got the memo, or they really truly want to be sure that there's place for everyone, or they really truly want to be sure that you're being heard. See, an S is going to listen to you. They're the ear, they're the listener, they're the love. They value people. Now, this is also the offended one. Aness is also the one to think, did she mean to hurt my feelings? An S is also going to think things like, was she talking to me? I know there was 1,000 people on that training, but I think she was talking to me. An S is going to be the sadness in the room. An S is going to take everything personal. That's the weaknesses behind the S. An S has a really hard time setting boundaries and a really hard time saying no. Remember, the D's like, I said no, and I'm not going to say it again. An I's like, when did you ask me that question? I don't even remember you sent me the invite. Honey, we sent it to you 3 times in the email. Oh, I don't even check my email. The S is going to say, I wonder why I wasn't invited. Maybe because they don't like me. Maybe because they don't want me to come. Maybe they don't appreciate me. An S is going to take everything personal. An S is slow paced, relationship focused. All right. An S is going to be a nurse. An S is going to be a counselor. An S is going to be probably the one that volunteers in the nursery at church. An S is going to be the one that serves at the homeless shelter. An S is going to be the spokesperson for the underdogs. Okay, you guys see what I'm saying? All right, so that's an S. And I'm here to tell you everyone needs an S. An S will soften you, they'll soften the room, they'll soften the environment. All right, now let's go to the fourth one, a C. C's are compliant. C's are graphs and charts. C's are all logic. C's are analytical mind. C's are a waffle brain. C's compute everything. And C's, a lot of the time, are right. Not because they think they're right, but because they've processed something for so long. They poke their own holes that they realize I am right. A C is always compliance. A C is always slow paced, but a C is task focused. Remember, you've got D, task focused, C, task focused. You've got to get to the point. You cannot babble with a C. They need bullet points, they need structure. Don't move their cheese. Do not make a C late. It goes against their being to be late. A C thinks through every scenario. A C maps everything out. A C knows exactly how long it takes to get somewhere. And please don't exaggerate with the C. Doesn't go well. A C tends to correct everything, not because they love to poke holes at everything, but because that's how their brain computes. They correct everything. So if you say to a C, it's going to take us like an hour to get there, a C is going to say to you, it's actually going to take us like 53 minutes. Same. A C's like, that's not the same. 60 minutes is not the same as 53 minutes. There's 7 minutes. Y'all see what I'm saying? Can you tell I'm married to a C brain? A C. Now let's talk about the flip side of a C. A C is for sure way too analytical. They will live in paralysis by analysis. A C could take a long time to make a decision. A C can poke too many holes. They can worry about too many details. They can miss all the fun because their logic brain stays so stuck. E can get very disgruntled when they're backed in a corner being questioned on their logic. Because you got to remember, not that they think they're know it alls, but because they've processed things for so long. That's a C. So a C may be an accountant. A C could be a corporate attorney, a tax attorney. A C could be a chemist, a scientist, an engineer. A C could be a CEO of a company. You see how the roles change. Okay. A C could also be like a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, because they have to come up with strategy and with plays to get things done. All right. That's the basis, y'all. Are you guys loving that? There's D, I, S, and C. Now, what I'll do in the next episode is I'll get into some real life scenarios for you so that I can teach you when you go to a restaurant, when you are at a stop sign, when you go to Starbucks, when you go anywhere, you'll be able to sit and think, "Whoa, I can recognize the personalities at this table, the cashier, the people at the stop sign." Now, let me say this to you guys. One of the things that I always teach is DISC is incredible to figure out for yourself first, but we don't just stay there. We can't take the approach of, well, this is me and this is my brain and this is my DISC profile and this is how I'm wired. We can't do that, you guys. That is important for us to do first. But then, really, truly, what I want to help you do is live in the world with peace. Live in the world with understanding. Live in the world surrounded by all the disc profiles and get along. Because let me say this to you guys. When you understand how pivotal this is for your relationships, for your marriage, for each one of your children that are wired differently, you will understand that everyone matters, not just you, not just the way you think you should talk, not just the way you funnel things, not just the way you see things, but that every disc profile matters. Now, just to touch on it one more time, remember there's a D. If you're an I, you don't want to just ramble to a D because it literally makes their ears hurt. You don't want to just ramble to a C because you're not logically preparing a conversation. The D's and C's will turn you off. If you're a D, you can't walk up to an I and dominate the situation, and you can't be too strong with an S. D's and C's tend to get along a little bit more because they're very task focused. Okay. The only difference in the D and C is C's a slower pace, D's the faster pace. Now, if you're an S, you can't walk around offended. You're going to probably work for a D. You're probably going to work for a C. So when you're being questioned or you're being pushed a little bit, you can't walk around offended. You've got to understand who you're dealing with. And then a C can't come in and just start whack, 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 whack-a-doodle everything because your logic's kicked in and I've already done the math. Okay, bro, we know that. So you also have to find your place to come in and get along with everyone in peace. So a little bit about Robbie. The reason this is such a huge lesson for me, you guys, is because I did it all wrong. And I literally wasted so many years doing it all wrong. I'm a high 99% D with my second and 98% I, 2% S and 2% C. I'm married to a high D, high C, and his S is about a 30%. Our firstborn, Reagan, is a high I and a high S with very little C, and his D is about that 20% marker. Our youngest son, Riley, is a high D, a high I, and his C comes up considerably with no S. And so the reason I say this to you is because I realized being married now for 30 years, before I learned this back in 2010, I expected everyone to think like me, act like me, talk like me, respond like me, feel like me, deliver like me. And I had shut Brian down. I had cut Reagan off. Thank God Riley was still a little boy. I'm so grateful for this. My boys now can say to me, Mom, she's a C. Mom, she's a D. Mom, he's an S. Mom, he's an I. They know how to identify who they're talking to. And you guys, it's a game changer. And now Reagan's married to a disc profile that is totally opposite of what he is, which is what we always tend to do. And they're thriving because of this knowledge. So hang in there with me. I don't know how many episodes we'll have, but we're going to get in the game and we're going to get in the game for disc. But I want you to message me right now. And I want you to say, please save me a spot in your disc and marriage so that I can live in harmony. I can live in peace. I can live in understanding and listen, you guys, so that you can be heard. So many of us are talking and talking and talking and talking, and we're not being heard because we don't know who it is that we're talking to. All right. So again, Robbie Page here. I'm so glad you joined me today. I'll leave all the details in the description of how you can join us for the podcast party next time. And until then, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.